Hello, and welcome to episode 153 of the Book Wars Pod. Sorry, I just had a bunch of notifications just pop up on my screen unexpectedly, so that threw me off. Welcome to 153 of the Book Wars Pod.
It's not my fault!
Thank you, Kristen. As you can hear, I'm Chris. I'm here with Kristen, Rana, and Miranda, as
Technically,
usual.
they couldn't hear us, just you and Han.
As you can hear, I'm here with 1982 Harrison Ford.
This is a big episode for us.
1980, whatever. Don't fucking at me.
Yeah, it came 77, 80, and 83.
Yeah.
That was Lando.
Oh, that was Land. Oh, shit. Well, then I'm 1980 Billy D. Williams. I really leveled up there. What are we talking about?
Star Wars.
The High Republic.
Star Wars. We're talking about the same
Light
thing
of the
every
Jedi.
week.
Wait, Keeks can tell us when and where we're talking about.
Pop quiz.
No, I only read a little bit of this book.
The quality of the podcast has really stayed exactly the same. We are reading The High Republic, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, chapter 26 through the interlude after chapter 35. I think that's part 2. I think it's part 2. Yeah. And before we get into it, what is everyone drinking? Burp, go.
Hi, I am drinking Prosecco.
She's a fancy bitch.
The
We
kind with
had
the blue label.
La Marca. We had a virtual mixology class at work yesterday that was kind of poorly attended, but one of the drinks was like a champagne cocktail.
Can you tell us about it? What was in it? I want
So
one.
it was supposed to be gin, but I don't drink gin, so I use a little vodka and like muddled strawberries
Sounds good.
and then some simple syrup. But I bought a whole fucking bottle of Prosecco, so now I gotta kill it.
Was there a gincident?
There were a couple of incidents.
This is my
Thank
first
you
time
for
hearing
asking.
incident, and I'm a big fan
I
of
was
this.
gonna say-
I'm stealing this word.
Yes, same. I love it.
Encouraging, like, I'm all for drinking at work, but encouraging people to drink hard liquor on a work call is risky.
It was at 4:30. It was like,
Risky.
yo, one time.
Do it at
this-
9 a.m. or don't do it at all.
Yeah, right?
The first virtual class we did, this one girl who like doesn't really talk to people when you pass her in the hallway, and the before times had like 2. It was her birthday, I guess. She had 2 friends. They just were like,
Her friends
"Birthday
came to the
shots."
office?
No, this was virtual.
Oh, in the before time she didn't
In the
make eye
before time
contact.
she
Okay.
wasn't-
I thought you were saying she brought 2 friends to the office who were doing shots. I was like,
That
that
would
is
be-
a fucking bold move.
Listen, I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't done a shot in my office before. This is getting
There's a lot happening on the
We're
book
gonna
pod.
move
Ron, what are you
forward.
drinking?
Yeah, I can say I've never done a shot in my office. Well, now that I work remotely, I guess that's not true. But
Technically, it was in
Used
my
to be
friend's
true.
cubicle area. So
I am drinking wine. It is Upshot. It is a red wine blend. I love the label. I can't speak though. I mixed Upshot and supposedly. So my new word is opposedly, which is not opposedly like OPPO. Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
Opposably
So,
thumbs.
It's fine.
do you
So
have thumbs?
supposedly it's 32% Malbec, 32% Zin, 25% Merlot, 6% Petit Verdot, and 5% Riesling, which is surprising for a red wine blend. But it is delicious. It has so many facts. I don't know how many is too many, but it has a very nice label with lots of information, including that it aged for 15 months. The pH is 3.72. The TA, which I assume is about tannins, but I don't know what the actual word is 0.56, and the average brix is 25.7 degrees. So don't know what that means. Brie? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
That's a
I'll Google it
cheese.
later. No, I know what brie. I know my cheeses. It's from Sonoma County. It was harvested in October, fermented until mid-November, bottled in. Wait, that can't be right. Whatever. Bottled in February and fined in February. A year and a half. I can't read. Whatever. It is what it is, but it's a very cool infographic. It's a little bit confusing, and I should have looked at it before I did this. And it is from 2019, 14.5% alcohol. It was harvested September 25th, 2019, finished in October of 2019. And I'm almost done with this random information. But it says, this rich, supple wine bursts with blackberry and dark cherries with hints of spice, followed by lush, rounded tannins and a lingering finish. I'm not going to lie, I bought it about 70% because it was on sale significantly, and 30% because it had a cool label that I apparently can't read.
That's
You
the
said
best
it's
way to
good
do
though,
it.
right?
It's delicious. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it was
love
like, when I
that.
say it was on sale, it was like, it was a wine I would not have normally bought. It was at the supermarket. Not that I wouldn't have bought it because it was at the supermarket, but because it was like a 25 or 27 bottle of wine that was on sale for like $15. So I was
Oh,
like,
hell yeah. That's
yes,
the best.
please.
Screaming deal.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, okay. And I'm really glad I got it because it's really good.
Where the hell were
please-
you that you could buy wine at the supermarket?
Castle Rock. Blame Cadman.
Is Castle Rock not in Colorado?
You can buy
Sometime-
wine in Englewood too. Douglas County allows you to buy wine at the supermarket and hard liquor and shit.
Douglas County, of
Oh my
course.
god, it's
and
by
I think
county.
I don't know what
Why
county.
Is this, why is this country so chaotic?
I don't know what county Englewood is in, but Cherry Creek and Englewood you can buy, and Littleton you can buy alcohol at the supermarket too.
Cherry Creek, I feel like, is in Adams. That's so fucking weird. Is Boulder
I
County
don't
just
know.
annoying?
No, County you can buy beer but nothing else. And then, but I know that my friend lived in. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of Glendale, not Englewood. My friend lived in Glendale, and the Target had a liquor store in it. I was like, it's like when I went to Wisconsin for the first time, and their supermarkets have hard alcohol. And I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I go to Washington. That's shit's wild.
Or Florida. When
California.
the first time I went to
California.
Florida and I walked by a CVS and it had a liquor store, I was like,
Hell
this is
yeah.
a different world. I don't like Florida, but
Oh,
sorry,
nobody
just mean
does.
being able to buy liquor at CVS.
I was just so shocked. I was like, oh, there's CVS. Walk. Wait a second. Yeah.
It's a
What are you
whole
drinking, Keeks?
thing. I am drinking this. I'm trying to get my levels right because they look weird. Am I quiet or am I okay?
You sound fine.
Okay, great. Sorry. Fuck. I'm drinking this beer Miranda left at my house. It's called Good Vibes Only. It's a hazy IPA from
irony.
Barrelick Beer Company. It's a hazy India Pale Ale as described. Centennial and Cashmere hops. It's 6.7%. I've only had a little bit of it before. And now I'm going to drink it. Rana, take pictures of that bottle of wine.
Oh, I did.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
I can see Argos behind you.
Yes, isn't he so cute? Oh, he's cleaning himself. Don't look at that. Oh no,
It's
not.
fine.
He's-
I can just
he's
kinda see
biting his
him.
tail.
Yeah, that's
he was
important.
falling asleep very, very cutely. He got a
What-
lot of fun in the snow, and I let him be off leash, and he sprinted around in circles for a while. So
Oh, I love that for him.
Orca's
oh,
gonna
now
be
he's using
so
the
mad.
pillow like a human.
Orca's gonna be so furious when he goes outside to pee tonight.
He's gonna be like,
Oh.
"What is happening?"
Meanwhile, Argos gets the zoomies. A week ago, I know that we're not talking about dogs for the pod, but why not?
yeah, we are.
He had a little vet incident, and he wasn't supposed to like get any exercise for a week other than like going outside to go to the bathroom. And he was non-stop husky noises, so I took him for a small walk, and I was like, okay, we have to go really slow. Every time we got to like the slightest little snowbank that was left in someone's yard, he would start sprinting around in circles, like jumping up and down. I was like, okay, this is fine.
I think he likes the snow. What do you guys think?
No, he hates it.
I don't think
Oh.
he does.
Chris, what are you drinking?
I am drinking beer. It is from Dry Dock Brewing in Colorado. It is.
Oh, they're good.
I like their shit, and this is
They have good sours.
this one I think is like
Ooh.
limited edition. It is a pomegranate smoothie.
I've had
Uh,
their blueberry smoothie, I think.
Yeah,
It
so
was
it's.
delicious.
I think I have two, and it's very similar. It's ale brewed with pomegranate, vanilla, and lactose, and
Mm.
it tastes like you're drinking a pomegranate smoothie, and it's fantastic.
Geeks
That's
and
lit.
Burb, does Oregon have Stout Month in February? Or is that a
Yes.
Colorado thing?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's Stout Month. I was just in Astoria at Pod Favorite brewery Fort George. It was stout month. I don't know.
I
Rana,
was just asking because I was going to ask Chris if he's done Stout Month anywhere yet.
no, I was just gonna say, come up to Boulder and we'll go to Mountain Sun.
Oh, yes, please. I will text you and Kate
Yeah.
in the thing because I really want to. And I told myself I'd wait until we were like below 2,000 cases a day for a 7-day moving average. And we just got to that point like
There
2
you
days
go.
ago. So now I can be a human again and socialize. I'll still wear my mask and demand to sit outside in the cold, but it's fine.
Reasonable. Yeah, I always say like, oh my god, I'm gonna drink so many stouts in Stout Month, and here we are in the middle of the
I
month. and
never
haven't
have
done
as
it all.
long as I've moved here, and I fucking love stouts. So
I know.
this is the year.
No, it's gonna happen. You're gonna come visit. It's gonna be that pub has like 50 stouts on the menu during Stout Month, and they're all fantastic.
Yes,
You guys
I
still have
will,
like 2 weeks.
That's a lot of stouts.
You can drink a lot of stouts in 2 weeks,
It's true.
famously.
Famously.
Chris, what's our cause for this book?
Our cause for this book is to go donate blood and donate to your local food bank. So you should go online at google.com and search for those.
Or your preferred search engine. I don't
or
know if
or
Ask
your
Jeeves
preferred
is
search
still
engine. Yeah.
around.
All right,
Fuck outta me.
big-
DuckDuckGo,
folks.
as I hear on NPR. Actually,
know-
I use DuckDuckGo on my phone and it sucks.
Oh, Kate uses DuckDuckGo exclusively.
It
It's
doesn't.
W-
It has terrible searching algorithms.
I agree with you.
www.askjeeves.com.
I prefer to use the built-in search function in the Microsoft Edge browser. Thank you very much.
Fuck off.
I go download a defunct Internet Explorer and use that.
Another cause that you should give your money to is the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative, which is at cybercivilrights.org. If you are involved in the Star Wars community, in the past couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, there was an incident where this piece of shit harassed somebody and then sent around like
A PowerPoint. Of
a
his
PowerPoint trying to show that he was not harassing somebody, in which it was very clear, A, that he was harassing somebody, and B, included his own dick pic in it and sent to people without permission.
Look, I love PowerPoints, but that's not cool.
Yeah, that's you're using a PowerPoint for
harassment.
evil,
What?
for sure.
Have you not heard this, Barb? We're gonna have a
I
chat
knew
offline.
something was happening, but I really excel at not having any fucking idea.
I could have
what's ever
sworn we
going
literally
on.
talked about this in the group chat.
We
I
did,
think
but
it was
sort of
kind.
not.
Yeah, it wasn't like specifically identified.
No.
I respect that you're just like, oh, this seems important. I'm not
I was
gonna
like,
ask.
yeah. Oh, there's clearly something happening.
I'm always like, someone needs to get punched in the face. Give me all the details.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah. No, so he's super a creep. I'm always like, do I like name them to shame them or not name them to not give them notoriety? I never really know.
I would say at this point, like, I don't know that we need to name them, but I will say that I have a lot of empathy for everyone who had to deal with that. And I hope that. I guess I should be careful with what I say, but I hope that people get what they deserve, and yeah,
Oh yeah,
I gotta say, retribution.
yeah, people have shit coming to them, and the reason we bring it up, other than to just talk about what is wrong with the Star Wars community in many ways, a lot of Star Wars podcasts that are usually, but not exclusively, white male run, decided to do the we need to wait for all the facts and let's hear his side of the story, and then and then we just want to hear everybody's feelings about this in a judgment-free forum bullshit.
That sounds bullshit.
Yeah, so those I don't want to call out those podcasts, but just be aware of which podcasts you're listening to, and be aware of who the hosts are, and make sure that you understand what they stand for when the chips are down. Because, to be honest, most of them and most men and particularly white men in the Star Wars fandom and in life do not have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, especially in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Safe to say.
Man.
Why don't we have a good soundbite about how awful men are, Keeks? We gotta figure that one out.
I think that's just the podcast.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say,
just,
I-
that's just the
I
sound
talk
of
a
like
lot
any
on this
background
pod.
noise.
Yeah, I don't know what a good sound drop would be for that.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just life. It is an
Uh,
all-existent, all-encompassing sound bite.
Oh,
I
so
think
you
it would
know-
be somebody talking about sloppy steaks at
Or yeah, when he's
Grafano's.
talking to the baby and he's like, I used to be a real asshole.
I've got a meme saved on my phone that's into the trash chute flyboy, but it says fuck boy. It would be
I
that.
always like the one of the woman like pushing. It's like a Renaissance painting, and she's like pushing the man down, and then it's like into the trash, like fucker or whatever. It's not Star Wars related, but it's very funny. I can't think of it now, but
That's excellent.
I'll find it and I'll send it out to people.
This one is mild, but it's the sentiment stands.
I hate it when he does that.
Accurate.
There you go. Yeah, all these like big podcasts are always like, let's do podcast meetups at Celebration, and I always see that, and then I keep scrolling, because bold of you to assume I want to associate with you. Anyway, shall we talk Star Wars?
Maybe.
Debatable at best.
Yeah.
16 minutes in, no way.
Which one is Star Wars?
So let's talk about the Jedi, as they are featured prominently in this book, famously in the title.
Yeah, I was about to say their names in the name of the book, so that's gonna happen a little bit.
It's like the
Well-
Leo meme.
Well, Rise of Skywalker wasn't necessarily named appropriately, and here we are.
But we are all Skywalkers.
Oh, Jesus. Are we? Are we?
Oh
though?
my
Here we go.
God! He admitted!
So yeah, we see a little bit more of the kind of internal Jedi decision making happening here, both by the Council and by some individual Jedi.
They still kind of lack self-awareness, yeah?
Yeah, I could not get over the line where I forget who it was at this point, but whoever's perspective the interlude is in thinks like, well, some people want to know if the Jedi are following the will of the Force, but the Jedi are the will of the Force. And I was like, oof, all right.
The
Yeah.
Force wills us, so we're the will of the Force.
Yeah, strong, like, Catholic Church vibes.
I was gonna say very like divine right of
Yeah.
things shit.
Yeah, no comment on Manifest Destiny. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's Jorah Malley, soon to be the warden of Starlight Beacon. So what could go wrong?
Yeah, sounds
With
great.
an attitude like that. But yeah, it's not ideal, I don't think, if you just and to be fair, we talked last week about how Elzar is kind of the same way, where he's like, we have the Force, we can use the Force, why shouldn't we use the Force? And it's like, you know, it's several steps further down that path, I would argue, but it is, you know, and further down the path of arrogance, but it's, you never want people with largely unlimited power to be arrogant.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that's the same thing. Like, I'm really with Elzar in that, because he's like, we can use the Force to do these things that work and that are helpful. And we see this in one of the many weird Force shit episodes in this section. He just fucking makes it rain when the droids are overheating in the Little Smart Nerds mega droid, thousands of droids thing to
Droid network.
Yeah, to to predict the emergencies, and I think I'm just being contrarian. He's not like the arrogant kind of Jedi. He's like, oh, we have the Force, we should use it. Like we can do something with this, and the Jedi are like, not like that. Big Catholic Church vibes. But yeah, I agree. You don't want them to be arrogant and very like, well, yes, we have the power, so we shall decide what to do with it, because the Force wills us, because we can use the Force. I'm like, that's not how that math goes. Also, you can't do math with words. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Math with words. But yeah, no,
I mean,
and
that's what algebra is, but I hear you.
Okay, you know what?
ooh, strong point, Rana.
Okay, so if
That was
Elzar
an Excel
Man,
word, though.
For the whole podcast.
if Elzar Man is in his little speeder going this many kilometers an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How long is it
Yeah, word
until
problems,
Yoda
massive
destroys
words.
the entire fucking galaxy because he's an arrogant war criminal?
Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about. Was like, oh, Yoda. This is the same force, not force, capital F, but the same like group that Yoda is in charge of shortly thereafter, and seems to be largely still in charge of at this point. Yeah, it's interesting to see that he has had like, because you can say for some of this, okay, maybe these people aren't good at putting themselves in context. They're not thinking about how they're acting. They don't have a seventh generations principle. Like they're like, all right, whatever. These are my actions now. How they affect the universe. But Yoda should have the clairvoyance to be thinking of things as they're going to be impacting generations and generations. So it's just interesting to me that there's no self-awareness when beings have lived for hundreds of years and are going to still be alive to see the consequences.
Bold of you to assume that a notably not self-aware
Yeah.
Jedi would be self-aware.
I always thought maybe he was like cantankerous in his old age, you know,
Well, he was also that, which was fun.
beating
him-
Luke with his little cane.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
wasn't cantankerous until after he ruined the galaxy, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like he'd already done his damage. He just wanted to hit a twink with a stick.
cane.
Yes.
And yet, to look at the other side of this coin, in contrast to the Jedi of the Skywalker era, of the Republic era, as opposed to the High Republic era, the Low Republic, shall we say?
Republic.
Republic the Lesser.
Rep- Republic,
Like the lesser Republic. That's a good one.
There are at least 5 Jedi who don't want to go to war. In this case, which is arguably more than we know of in Republic the Lesser.
Yeah,
Do
that's
we
true.
though? Some of them were just like.
I mean,
they,
no,
they
we
just
know
had like very weak spines for sure.
we know Master Balaba. There's a couple more in the comics, but largely they didn't fight it.
Well, sure.
At least that we know of.
Yeah, that. Oh, I will allow that.
And they are actually discussing, like, what are the ramifications of going to war? Admittedly, a lot of them are discussing it in terms of, is this going to be complicated? Which is also not ideal.
Do I have to stay late today?
It's like, how much effort do I have to put into this if we go to war?
Yeah, they're kind of treating it with like the same amount of time people treat deciding when to schedule a meeting. Like, oh, am I gonna have to get ready at like 7:30 for my presentation? I'm not gonna do it.
I don't want to have a back-to-back. It's just
A Friday afternoon meeting? No way. Yeah.
no
You guys
champagne
work with better
allowed. Come
people
on.
than I don't know. And I mean, maybe this is a bigger topic, but I feel like the whole point of the High Republic is to show, like, obviously the golden age of the Jedi. But if we're looking at them with these rose-colored glasses, then, like, yeah, they're going to be more principled and have, you know, better and higher ideals than the shit-ass council we get in the Skywalker saga, who's like, war? Oh no, my hand slipped. There's an emperor now. He's a Sith Lord. We just ignored that part, missed that entirely.
Had like one conversation at a funeral and then decided not to follow up on it.
Soup's
like,
normal.
It makes sense that there are people who are like, maybe we shouldn't go to war, because I don't know if I can reference a specific thing in this part of the book, but we have kind of seen that, like, there is a differentiation between the Republic and the Jedi. I think I brought this up last episode, or the episode before, but when they're first dealing with the stuff on the, is it Hetzal?
Yes.
On the Hetzal system,
I'm sorry, just quickly, which moon, rooted or fruited?
Okay,
I
you know what?
hate the names of those goddamn
It's in the system. It's in the space around it. When the Republic cruiser shows up with all the Jedi, it's clear that, like, okay, the Jedi need to be in charge of this. They're gonna do it. Like, the admiral's like, I am ceding everything to Avar Chris. Avar?
Avar.
Avar. HBIC. But like in the Lesser Republic, that does not exist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the Jedi are generals. It's
Yeah.
very different.
Though there is definitely some level of weaving of the two, because I don't think that Avar Chris and the other Jedi would be able to be sitting in a meeting with really high level people in the Republic if there wasn't some sort of intermingling of the Jedi. And I hear what you're saying, though. The Jedi seem to be much more focused on a different cause,
Yeah.
but they definitely have access to more information, and I think they have some sort of relationship, though it does seem when people are uncomfortable with that relationship, so maybe it is new.
Yeah, and you're right. They do have that, and like, Avar Chris and the higher ups in the Jedi and senior members of the council are meeting, excuse me, with the Chancellor, but there is still like some form of delineation. It's not just everything is one big clusterfuck. There's a better word, but I'll go with that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think kind of the weight with which that interlude at the end of this section was handled was important, because it is a turning point. Like, yes, we saw Avar and the Republic Admiral working together, but that was A, not planned, and B, a rescue mission when they were working together during the Great Disaster. And now you see them explicitly being like, all right, Master Mally, you take your flagship and you link up with the Republic Defense Coalition fleet, and you go do this. And that's a watershed moment to be like, not only are the Jedi going to fight, but the Jedi are going to fight as part of the Republic. Whereas previously, they do have very defined lines of separation between them. Even though they work together, the Jedi are not beholden to what the Chancellor wants. She asks for help. She doesn't order it.
Well, shit, I haven't read any of the other books. This is my only exposure so far to the High Republic, but maybe this is the turning point, It's like it's a big enough disaster that, things are just falling out of hyperspace, which is not a super, like, they kind of know hyperspace, but it's something that's impacting the whole galaxy, and they do need help from the Jedi. The Republic cannot do it alone. They do not have the resources to do it, and obviously the Jedi can do things like slow down the entire shit of Tibanna gas so that the whole system doesn't explode. Like, there has to be some point in galactic history where that changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I said in our first episode that, like, the Great Disaster is the high point of the Jedi Order in this, series of eras. Obviously we don't know before the Great Sith War and whatever, but like,
There's the Old Republic.
yeah, if that's what they're still calling it, who knows? But like, we have seen the height of their powers, and now we are seeing them make mistakes that, admittedly, we know how it ends, like 200 years down the road, so we know that it's a slippery slope. But we know that this is not necessarily a good decision. It may have been the only decision because the Nihil are a threat, but it doesn't make it a good one. And so it does make you wonder, have we seen the Jedi at their best in, page 10 of this book, and it's all downhill from here.
I think it was actually like page 67. No, that's bullshit. No, a great point though. Like, it's, again, I had really high hopes for the High Republic, and I'm loving it so far. But I'm like curious to see now where the Order goes, and like, will we see the leadership kind of start to? Oh gosh, there's a word I'm looking for. I don't know what it is. This has been a point. Barely.
I believe you.
I'm muted, but I just laughed out loud.
Thank you. Just like a lighter note that's also just deeply depressing. Not all Jedi are bad and have to deal with all these decisions that there's only one decision. So in this section we did see like it was a memorial kind of situation for the folks who died in the Great Incident. What are we calling it?
Great disaster.
Great disaster. I just like have a lot of feelings about Buryaga.
He's such a good boy.
Like, he's such a good boy, and he sees Surge, the little boy from the first section, and like nobody is talking to this kid, and then he has to deal with all of his, you know, little kid feelings.
And he has to have a translator, like, to be able to reach out. That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, but he just hugs him, and everything gets better, and it just makes me feel very soft inside.
It did also, like, on a slightly less serious note, though I do agree, it made me realize that even Jedi are awkward sometimes. Like, all I could think, and that was, I thought the author did a really good job of, like, capturing that feeling. You know, you're at this, like, work event, and you feel like you shouldn't be there, but there's, like, really good, like, pepper jack cheese cubes, and you're like, what's that? Oh, there's a little kid here. What's going through that person's mind? Why is no one talking to them? I don't know. I just thought that awkwardness was captured very well, and I agree. Poor Buryaga.
You don't want to be there, but
Buryaga does
job.
have
your
excellent.
coworkers making you do a shot in the corner, and
Again, we have very different co-working shot experiences.
Buryaga has excellent and very similar instincts at a party to myself. You know, just avoid the crowds,
go to the
go
food.
for the cheese.
Mm-hmm. I think we can
Same.
all relate to that, and that's
Yes.
why we have a Star Wars podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. Poor Buryaga and little Surge too, whose information ended up being like a major point of validation for what they end up deciding to do with the Nile.
Yeah, and it's
So-
like really, really lucky for the Jedi that he was in one of the, you know, cubes of people that
Mm-hmm.
they saved, because, you know, there was only a handful of other folks who saw what actually happened, and they're all kind of dead.
And they're also lucky that he was a mischievous little kid who was where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
else they wouldn't have seen
exactly.
it.
Like
It's true.
a series of very fortunate events.
What a callback.
Just heavy sigh. I don't know that we ever find out for sure, but I hope Surge's parents were in that compartment that they were then able to save a few chapters later.
Oh, that would be nice. Because
That have been living in a compartment for like a week, but you know.
Mm.
It's space. We can hope. I don't think we do find out, so I do like to hope.
Yeah, I don't think we find out either, which is sad.
We can pretend. It's fine. It's fake and in space. We can make the rules.
Mm-hmm. You have your own canon. Your
It's true.
head canon.
And then we also we have to talk about the Force again
Yeah.
and how ascendant the light side is right now, because as Miranda mentioned, they literally made it rain using the Force.
But not like the way people make it rain with currency.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, maybe that too. We don't know what they're doing in their
Blah,
spare
blah, blah,
time.
blah,
No one said that has to have
blah.
attachments.
Listen, it was Elzar. I believe either one.
Yeah.
I love like when he's doing it, he kind of looks over at Avar and he's like, "Just go with me on this, okay?" They summon the clouds, and
Think they're very lucky that their droids are so waterproof.
Yeah,
'Cause,
right?
Like adding water to technology usually does not solve the problem.
When it's already sparking. as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's like
that
you-
usually doesn't help.
It's like I've seen that episode of Pokemon. I know what happens when you add water to electricity.
Sorry, do you mean every episode of Pokemon?
No, specifically, I mean the one. It's like in the first handful of episodes when Ash is in Brock's gym, and he can't
Oh,
defeat
yeah,
the
right.
Onyx, so he breaks the fire sprinkler thing, so that the room fills up with water, and then Pikachu electrocutes the shit out of Onyx.
You know what? I do remember that. Always appreciated Pokemon's commitment to fire safety. Other cool shit. Porter Engle deflected a blaster bolt with his hand, which
Very casual.
so far we have seen that from Darth Vader and Rey.
And this is also like a ship blaster bolt too. It's not like from a gun, right? Wasn't this, or was he not the one who did this from the ship? Maybe I just
thought
don't know
it
what
was
I'm talking about.
from a gun. I thought it was Loden.
Oh,
who
during
did-
the Nile
who
chase?
did the ship,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had his
Yeah.
lightsaber. Although that was also very impressive.
Technically,
Sorry.
Kylo
It's been
Ren
a little bit since I
stopped
read
a
this.
blaster bolt once.
That's true. He didn't deflect it with his hand though. He just had to be extra about it.
No, he stopped it with his hand.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's not, he
deflection.
didn't deflect it though.
Well, no. He had to
Yes,
be
thank you
dramatic.
for agreeing with me.
I know,
absolutely
I said
deflected
that
it.
he
He
stopped it
deflect-
with his hand,
He deflected it in the opposite direction, Chris.
but at a very slow
Kylo Ren
rate.
did not. What are we talking about?
What
At
the
a
fuck are you
rate-
talking about, Chris? In the beginning of what's that movie called, Miranda?
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
We swear
Star
this is a Star Wars
Wars.
pod.
Yeah, when Poe shoots at him and he goes,
No, I'm
Yikes.
very
Opposite.
aware, but there's no deflection happening.
it deflects in the opposite direction.
What does the word deflect
Technically-
mean to you, Kristen? Use it in a
Technically
sentence.
speaking, if he stops it, that is a deflection.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the difference here is that Chris is
Not at all
referring to
technically
deflection
speaking.
as like bouncing it off to another area.
Deflection means to
Whereas-
change direction by interposing something. So making
So
it go in the
you are
opposite
not
direction.
correct.
Making
It
it
didn't
go in the
go anywhere
opposite
though. It stopped its
direction.
movement.
Well, then it deflected.
Gravity does not count for the deflection.
No,
oh, no,
he
when he lets
like,
go of
yoink-
it after
yeah,
he has
he,
Poe
like,
in
yoinked
his
it.
cuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It continues on the same path.
but in the opposite direction.
No, not in the opposite direction. It goes the exact same way it was already
it-
going. He just lets it
hits
go.
it hits his ship.
I hate this. I hate it here.
I have not seen Force Awakens in a long time. I could not tell you.
I've seen it a lot of times, but not recently.
I guess we have to do a rewatch.
Yeah, I guess we
Oh
do.
no!
We hate watching Star
everything's under
Wars.
control. Situation normal.
I famously hate The Force Awakens.
I
Anyway,
don't know you well enough to know if you're being sarcastic. Or
I
not.
am.
Oh.
I fucking
She's seen it maybe more than any other Star Wars.
Even more than
I mean,
Attack of the Clones.
I was gonna say
Your
it's
Oh,
no
yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
no. I've seen it more than anything. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's my relationship with Empire. It just means I'm a basic bitch. So
I think Chris is right, and I'm really upset.
Sorry,
how
can we
come
get
Chris
that
is
in
right,
the
but
drop?
when I agree with him, I'm not right? That you all should also know that Kristen earlier said that I was the least hot member of the pod. I'm very personally
I
offended.
did not say that.
She, no, her exact words were, "I think we're all hot, but Rana's pretty normal."
I was talking about mic volume.
It's fine. Nope, we
Only
don't need to
producer
justify it.
things.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
I
we're
fucking
all,
hate
we're all
all
clear.
of
It's
you.
fine. I
Oh,
don't think it
That's
needs
why I'm
We're
not
all
on this
clear.
podcast
And we've all seen my
anymore.
Instagram. It's okay. We
There's
know.
there's
I
a
know what
there's
my
a
face
Han
looks
drop
like.
here. She revealed her true feelings for me.
Oh my god.
That's a good one.
It's not over yet.
Speaking of the Force, one other thing that needs to be brought up. So, you know how oftentimes in the Skywalker saga, people fall distances, of really any nature, and it generally appears to hurt. Belle jumped out of a spaceship.
With a little kid.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
he caught a
caught
kid.
a kid in the air
Oh,
and then
halfway
landed
down.
on his feet and was fine.
Okay, also, to be fair, the Jedi in the High Republic seem to be a lot more capable and just, like, way smarter than anybody we meet in the Skywalker saga.
Do you think there's anything having to do with the fact that there are way more Jedi in this than there are
Probably.
in the Skywalker saga? Like, I almost wonder if it's some sort of thing where I can't think of the terms, the physics terms for this, but where like the more people are putting in and like channeling into the Force is like strengthening their ability to tap into it. I don't know.
You might-
I would believe that.
You might say
That's
they're
my
acting
theory.
as force multipliers.
Jesus.
I wish I could say that we were muted for that, but no, that awkward silence was in fact our response.
Crushed it. Crushed it. No, but do we know that there are more Jedi in this era?
I guess
There-
we don't know that, but it
there's
seems
gotta
that
be.
way. It seems
does-
like there
yeah.
are thousands of them.
Like they have enough. I mean, and also granted, we don't get a whole lot of exposure because it's literally just the fall of the Republic, and everything's gone to shit anyway. But I think we see most of them on Geonosis, like,
And yeah, well, never mind. That's not accurate. What I was gonna say,
or
Glad I
maybe
didn't say
just
it.
the prequels are hyper focused on the chosen one.
I think, and this is, I can't remember if this is in the movie or in like a novelization or something, so I could be entirely wrong. But I'm pretty sure there are roughly 10,000 Jedi at the time of Attack of the Clones, and the ones
Oh,
that
wow,
bring
I
to
didn't realize
Geonosis are
that.
just the ones that they could
The
rustle up
ones
on
in the
short
neighborhood.
notice. Yeah.
I guess I just thought that like because like partially because of Geonosis and also partially because of the very small number of people on the council and in the meetings with the council, I just kind of assumed that they did not have that many, but 10,000. Okay, so maybe there aren't more than there are in the Skywalker trilogy era.
I still feel like there's a fuck ton, or at least it seems like their presence is more solid. Is that the word? I don't know, but like their presence means more.
Mm-hmm.
They
They're-
are certainly more feared, I think. Like if we compare what the Nile, who seem much more fearsome than the entire group of everyone in all of the prequels. But you know, if we compare them to the reaction we see in the beginning of the Phantom Menace, like, I don't know. No? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I think that's super
I'll
fair.
drink some water.
No, I think you're exactly right, Rana.
No one's ever said that to me. Thank you, Chris. I'm
Uh,
just kidding. Look at Burb's face. I know
It's
this
like,
is a
You're
podcast.
clearly
but-
not a Capricorn.
No, I'm
some
not.
That's some fire sign energy.
Sorry, once again, have we met Rana?
What we did in this book.
Technically,
We
no.
sure fucking did. Say more about that, Rana.
Sorry, I had to bring that up. So this is my first exposure to Rana Kant, and I'm gonna assume it's Kant because everything else sounds too much like a different word. But I
Are you sure
I
it's not Kant?
I was
like,
going to say, I
philosopher
can only assume you're
Immanuel
referring to
Kant?
German philosopher Immanuel Kant. Yes.
exactly that was
Burb and I were
exactly
on the
my
same
reference.
page.
Yeah. But then I'm worried if I say that I'm gonna say something else, and it's fine. I've seen too many like British shows recently, so that word has become very casual to me, and I'm like, ooh, gotta be cautious with this. But yeah, I thought I was just a bad Star Wars fan for not knowing about this character, but then I googled her, and she only shows up as a living creature in this book, so haha, joke's on me. But yeah, I don't know. There's not really anything to say about her. I was just excited because I never expected to see my name. And I'll probably be really sad if I ever listen to the audiobook because I'm sure they don't pronounce it like my name. But let me have this. It's a small win, okay?
Hey, Keeks, if you were to read along with us and listen to the audiobook, you could answer that question, in fact.
Yes. Maybe I'll read it the rest of the way, listen to it the rest of the way for the wrap.
Cool.
But then I never know what the fuck you guys are talking about because I didn't see it, and I'm such a visual person, but I'm not such a visual person that I can read. So
Classic.
I feel like that sentence kind of describes all of our relationship with books despite having a book podcast. We just can't really read.
It's very true.
Wow, that was a bad joke. I apologize. Our like 3 listeners, I'm sorry.
They're shaking
Used to
their
be
head.
more, but we keep fucking up.
They're just kind of leaving and like ghosting on us. It's real awkward.
Oh, Lord. I feel like we should just leave it there. There's a point on the outline left, but that point is, I don't know, but we need something here. So
I wrote that.
No,
I'm sorry.
I
when I
think
looked at the outline, there
the
was
Ni-
nothing.
The
There was
Nile, I think, do play an important role in this. I will be that
Okay.
asshole.
do it. No, do it. Define. Don't
Oh
let
my
us go
god,
to
how
recess.
dare you
That's
give
fine.
us content for the pod?
Oh my god, how rude.
Chris was trying to end class, Miranda.
Yeah.
I know. I've always been that fucking kid, so you're
That
welcome.
does not surprise me.
Yeah, that's
Did you miss the Capricorn part?
no one
Um,
ever
Not
missed
astrology,
the
didn't know what
Capricorn
that
part
means,
with you,
but-
Burb.
Yeah.
Fuck off. So there's like a couple of like very funny things that happen here. And when I say very funny, I mean one of them is very funny, one of them is not. They're total assholes. You know, in this section we kind of see the end of the chase on what's the metal planet?
Elfrona.
Elfrona. And they're like, oh fuck, they're Jedi, right? Like, we gotta deal with this now. And they try to be all sneaky and blah blah blah. But then they throw a child out of a fucking spaceship. And like, we know they're all garbage. Good fucking lord.
Well, even they are like, are you sure? That
And I was
seems
like,
a little bit harsh.
But maybe the funniest thing that happens in this book is when what storm strike cloud
Tempest.
Tempest, the one Tempest,
Kassav.
Kassav. He's like, I can just make money and get out of this whole agreement situation I've got with the rest of the
It's famously how back alley deals work. They always work out so well for you.
so well. And he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go to this planet and be like, you're all about to die, but I can stop you if you give me all this fucking money. And like, sorry, I'm in a mood
Audiobook
right now.
read by
Wasn't
Bird.
ready for that.
I am in a mood.
The
I've
champagne.
had a decent amount of prosecco. But he's like, oh, this'll work. But like, we've seen so far that he's a fucking idiot, and he just botches the whole thing. And I just think we need to think about that. We don't have to talk about it. We can take it home, ponder on it, you know, kind of nibble on those thoughts. But he really fucks up the whole thing for the Nile. And
Yeah, he
ruins-
does.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think they even think about that in oh my god, my brain is so tired. I'm much less tired than I normally am because we're recording an hour early, but what the hell is her name? The one they say has flash the color of swamp water. She named her ship after herself.
Oh,
Lorna
yeah,
D.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
thank
bitch.
you, Lorna D. I don't know. I was trying to say the name of someone I used to work with many years ago, and I was like, I know that's not right. But Lorna D even thinks about that repeatedly of like, well, now we're fucked because they have this one point to know about the Nile, and now they're going to track these other points. And though she doesn't make their situation any better.
That's true. No, and it's, you know, what could have gone wrong with Kassav's plan of doing extremely difficult and detailed blaster work while on cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot
It's a
about
great
that
idea.
part. I'm just like, this seems like a good idea.
And then he blames it on someone else who's also on drugs. And it's like,
They're all on drugs.
You know you're just as high, right?
Mhm.
It's the Spider-Man meme pointing back at
Yeah,
each other.
exactly.
Yeah. I also love. Did any of y'all catch that after he got 50 million from Iriadu, he told the rest of the Nile that he got 30 million?
Yeah. hmm
I enjoyed that. Always
Wasn't
a
that
little shit.
shit
Though
recorded?
I have to wonder, like, what
Probably.
are they using for this? Are these like offshore accounts? The other Nile must have some sort of access to their fund history.
I mean, that's the
They've
beauty
got
of
bank
space, Rana.
accounts in the
Everything's
Cayman
offshore.
Islands.
Thank you. Yes, whatever the equivalency of offshore is, like,
the
'cause
space
they can't be
Caymans?
getting like physical ingots of gold or something. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand
Republic
how that's
credits?
working. Yeah, I know their credits. Thank you. That you're right. This is Star Wars. But like for their Republic credits, like where is this going? Like the other Tempests must have some knowledge of whatever account they have that doesn't link them all. I don't know.
They seem sophisticated, but I don't know if they're that sophisticated.
Yeah, I don't know
Like-
why. Now that you say that, I think of like, wait a second, they're all like doing drugs and drinking and like, not that that's not sophisticated, but like they're all doing this like to celebrate having killed people and like when someone made a minor mistake throwing them out of an airlock or children. Like, yeah, I guess they're not super sophisticated, but
It seems like, you know, they kind of have an understood agreement about, like, hey, we won all this money, we're going to split it the 4 ways. There's no way they don't have, like, side accounts, you know?
yeah, definitely. And they do get called like small or low level many times by people outside of their league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're criminals, they're doing a great job, but as we've seen, they're all also fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They're very
sure.
bad at what they do.
But
and
they do have style.
They do, and I respect it.
I just really love the concept of hyperspace travel, easy. Mobile banking,
Terrible.
that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been stuck on an automated phone line? It kind of checks out.
I mean, shit, we still haven't figured it out.
Nothing gets me angrier faster than that. Well,
Yeah.
maybe being cut off in traffic, but like
Your call is very important to us.
when they're like, "Sorry, I couldn't catch that," and then you say it 600 times, and it's always like, "Did you say you want to pay this bill 3 times?" I'm like, no,
Representative.
let me speak to a human. Yeah, exactly. Press 0 900 times. I'm sorry, that's not in my command.
Oh,
Makes
God.
me want to kill everyone. Not everyone on Earth, just like the robots.
Just the automated
School.
voice.
Yeah, just whoever programmed this thing.
Got to get the robots before they get us.
That
On
is
that
a
fun note.
deeply problematic point in Star Wars,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There are at least
L3
several
would
Star
like
Wars
a-
characters that would agree with me.
L3 would like a word. Is all I'm saying.
That's true. And Mando would like a word back.
I was gonna say Mando's in the same boat as you, Chris. He agrees.
Yeah. I feel like I did it. I was like I had something. Did anybody catch where where Kosov extorted money from?
I don't remember.
So
Ariadu?
yes. And so the
Why
governor
do
of
I know that?
the governor of
Because
Ariadu
we just said
noted
Chris just said it a minute ago.
yes. Noted that
It's
they're
true.
hunters and they're coming for revenge.
Mhm.
Ariadu is most known for being home of the Tarkans.
Tarkin.
Oh,
yes, yes,
okay.
yes,
So
yes.
Kasov's fucked.
She's not gonna do so good.
Bitch is gonna get flayed alive. All right. On that note, thanks for listening to episode 153 of the Book Wars Pod, everyone.
I can't believe you made it this far.
I know it's.
Can't believe we made it through the episode.
Oh, not us. Like anyone who could possibly be listening. So no one, but that's okay.
Honestly, as a society, it's shocking we made it to 2022.
Did we?
Also that. We're there.
Well, if it's not all a simulation. Anyway, next episode we're finishing the book, chapter 36, through to the end. If you have the means, first and foremost, donate to your local food bank, donate blood, or donate to the Cyber Civil Rights Initiative at cybercivilrights.org. And then if you want to support us, you can donate to the Tosh Station Radio Patreon. Helps us cover our hosting production costs, as does giving us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joby Terra Design, and our audio and production are done, as always, by Kristen Keeks McDonald. From all of us, Argos, Cerberus, Jasper, Orca, Tony,
Yeah,
Keeks,
you better name your
Burb.
pets.
I-
Thank you.
Listen,
Sorry.
I
was
have
Tony
to-
is the
upset.
most important member of this
You
podcast.
give my dog credit for his
He
contribution.
puts
to
the
this. Look at
most in
him
the
sleeping from
outline.
his hard work behind me.
he's an angel. Orca's a little shit. This is correct.
Tony contributes to the outline more than any of us.
It's
That's
true.
very
Saw it
true.
here.
We're pretty sure that Orca had a nightmare last night because he started whining in the middle of the night, and like not because he had to go out.
Poor Orky.
No,
Keeks is
I didn't
definitely
want
gonna kill
children,
us.
and now I still don't. Anyway, from all of us, thank you for listening. Talk to you next week.
I can't believe you almost left the pets off.
I didn't almost leave the pets off.
You
I-
did.
no,
you
it's
always
because-
save them for the coffee section.
Well, no, it's because I don't like to say, like, if you give us coffee, we'll post pictures, because the world sucks now. We just post pictures anyway.
We just post pictures.
True.